I bought this Specialized bike for $150 and I sold it for $900. And guess what? I sold this bike in 19 hours after I bought it. Okay, again, let me explain my strategy to you. I buy it at a deep discount and then I sell it at a discount. Okay, this exact bike will go over $1,000 on the fair market, 12, 13, 1400 bucks. The next deal, it was a track, it was a gorgeous bike. I paid $100 for it, excuse me, and then I sold it for 397 bucks, guys. And again, this was a very, very fast move. I sold it in just a couple of days. Okay, the next deal, I paid $100 for it. It's a beautiful track bike, and then I sold it for $497. I'm gonna go a little bit fast because there's a lot of deals. The next deal, I paid $150 for it. It's a beautiful track bike with hydraulic disc brakes, and then I sold it for $547. And again, I sold this bike very, very quick. My whole goal is to move these units very, very fast, what I call velocity of money. I want my money to constantly work for me, okay? In my course, I go into the details of what I'm looking for, so I'm not going to cover it here, okay? All right, I bought this Burley trailer for 75 bucks and I was able to sell it for $347. If you don't know what a Burley trailer is, they're very, very expensive, and this is on the topper end one. Now, I've done many Burley trailers, but I didn't include them all in here, okay? All right, the next deal, I bought a Fuji bike and I paid $100 for it, and then I sold it for 347 bucks very, very fast. Okay, this is a very gorgeous bike. I bought this bike handmade, made in America, Cannondale. You know, I bought it $100 and then I sold it for 397 bucks very, very fast. Okay, now this is a great deal that came to me as well, and I'll get into where I found these deals. I paid the seller 150 bucks. This is the only deal that I couldn't put in my car, but the great news was that the seller had a rack for this type of bike that I put it on top of my car, and the rack itself cost over $300, and the seller just gave it to me for free because, you know, he needed to clear some room in his garage, and he didn't want one of these because he had 3 other ones. Okay, so this was a made in America. I mean, this thing sold really, really, really fast. It's less than 1 day is sold. Okay, this was another Cannondale that I picked up. I paid $100 for it. It was made in America. These are old bikes, but again, they sell really, really fast, and I sold it for 400 bucks. Now, this is a very great story. I went to this guy's house, and he had 2 bikes, and he had this bike and this bike, and I paid him $35 each, and I sold them for 200 bucks each. So he had this one and this. Again, these are not Walmart bikes. These are cruisers. They're pretty famous in California. It was actually a company in California that made them. All right. I bought this track hybrid bike. I paid $65 for it, and I sold it very, very fast for 347 bucks. All right, I bought this bike for 100 bucks as a track, 3,700, and I sold it for 447, and it was pretty decked out. It had lights, it had fenders, etc. All right, I bought this bike for another track for 85 bucks, and I sold it for 347 bucks. All right, I bought this Fuji bike, beautiful bike. It was spanking new. A lot of these bikes are spanking new. As I talked about earlier, most people buy these types of items and don't use it that much. That's why obesity is so high in America. Okay, so I bought this bike, but that's a different story. I bought this bike for 100 and I sold it for 300 bucks. Now, this is a great deal. There's all kinds of deals out there. I bought this bike for 20 bucks and I sold it for 147 bucks, which is like crazy returns. But the crazy thing was this seller had 3 bikes, so I wouldn't drive out there just to buy a bike for 20 bucks, but the seller had 3 bikes, and this was just a cherry on the top. All right, I bought another bike from another seller, and I paid her 50 bucks, and her story was that she was going out of the country and she needed this thing to be gone because she was leaving tomorrow and she couldn't sell it. She was trying to sell it before, but she couldn't sell it, and I had to give her an offer. She hit me back up, said, come pick it up ASAP, and we made the deal happen. Convenience. I bought this beautiful Cannondale made in America bike for 100 bucks, and then I flipped it for 347. All right, I bought another bike for a woman from Track hybrid, and I flipped it and I made $297 very, very fast. All these bikes are selling really fast, again, because I'm selling them at a discount. I'm not pricing it at the market value. That's what everyone else does. I'm not pricing it over market value. That's what some sellers do. What I'm doing is I'm pricing it below market value, so I have multiple people contacting me trying to buy it all at one time. Okay, I bought this Cannondale for 100 and I sold it for 297. Okay, I bought this Track for 50 bucks and I sold it for 247. All right, I bought this Track for 75 bucks and I sold it for 297. All right, I bought this Jameis for 65 bucks and I sold it for 197. Okay, I bought this Track for 50 bucks. Beautiful tracks. All these bikes are beautiful bikes. It's almost spanking new, and I sold it for 297. I bought this bike for 100 bucks and I sold it for 347. And notice that I have my kid with me because I'm grooming her to be an entrepreneur, and she's sitting down taking pictures just like her dad. But that's a different story.
Okay, how do I find the bikes at a deep discount? Okay, so number one place to look for is Craigslist. Okay, there are a lot of motivated sellers on Craigslist.com. Okay, the second place to look for is Facebook Marketplace. Okay, and the third thing to look for is Facebook groups. Like in your Facebook groups are local groups that have garage sales. Those are great places to look as well. Okay, the next place to look for hot deals for bikes is OfferUp. OfferUp. Okay, the next place to look for is 5 Miles, and this is an app. And these two are apps that you can download in your phone. Marketplace. So basically, you're able to find these deals without spending any money in marketing. They're totally free on these platforms. Okay. Now, here's two ways to find these hot deals. Okay. All right. The very first way is by placing ads. All right. That I buy bikes. I buy bikes. Buy bikes. I place an ads on Craigslist, on Facebook, okay? Now, if you want my exact copy for my ads that have brought me all these types of deals, just leave a comment below and I'll give you the link so you can download it totally for free. So I'm going to give you my ads for free, guys, if you want to download it. And all you got to do is copy and paste the ad and then put it into Craigslist.com. Put it into Facebook Marketplace. Put it into OfferUp. Put it into 5 Miles. Now, this is what I call the passive way of finding deals. You just put it there, you put your foot up, you can go on vacation, whatever, and deals will come to you. And you can expect get about 20 to 25% of your deals this way. But it's not going to be enough. If you want to do high numbers, then the other option that you have to do is what I do is, or what I did is what I call active. And the active way is just basically giving offers to sellers on these platforms. So again, I've generated an offer, just copy and paste, and just 3 different copies, copy and paste, and I just give it to these sellers, and they're proven to work. If you're interested in downloading them, then I highly recommend investing in my course for a few bucks. Okay, it's all in there. So on the active part, I will be getting 80% plus of my deals in the active part, because there are so many sellers that have ads and they're waiting for a buyer to come. So that's where I come and I just give them offers. Okay, and I'm basically giving them super low ball offers, okay, to get the deal. And then where do I find these sellers? Well, again, on Craigslist.com, on OfferUp, on 5 Miles, the same place I'm going to place the ads is the same place I'm going to go and give super low ball offers to sellers and get these hot deals and make massive profits. Okay. Now the proactive works the best, but I like to combine it together because I have the passive that's working for me, and it'll give me about 20% to 25% of my deals a month, and then proactive and say, hey, I want to buy your bike, etc. Okay. Now, what kind of tools do you need to do this business? Okay. So the tools you need are nothing basically, and I'm going to go run into them right now, and I'm sure you have all this stuff right now. Number one, well, you're going to need a phone or a laptop, okay? Because this whole business is done through the phone or a laptop. 90% of it is done through a phone or a laptop, okay? You need to look for these deals. You need a phone or laptop. Number two, you're going to need internet, okay? And I'm sure everyone already has an internet on their phone or at their home, etc. Okay, or you can go to a coffee shop. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need a car. Everyone has a car, okay, or a truck, but you don't even need a truck, unlike flipping furniture. That's one of the reasons I started this business, because I didn't want to lift heavy furniture, because I was in the moving business for 15 years, 14 years, and I knew how that sucked. I didn't want to have a storage facility. I wanted to do a business that, that I could pick these bikes up. They don't take a lot of space, unlike furniture, and I don't have to have myself or other people come join me and break our backs. It's something that is very small, and I can fit into my little Nissan Leaf, which that's what I have, and be able to do it. And that's why I love doing bikes, because all I need is just a small car. Okay, and once I did my first deal and I made so much money, then what I did is I just bought a rack to put on there. Actually, I didn't even buy it. I got it for free on one of the deals that I did. Basically, I need a car to start off with. If I don't have a rack, I can take the wheels off or just fold my seats and put it in there. This is exactly what I did. So anyone can do that, but you need at least a car, okay? And all the bikes that I showed you in there all fit into my small Nissan Leaf, with the exception of that one tri-bike, which again, the seller gave me the rack when I put it on top of my car, which I got the rack from the seller. All right, the other thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need water, because I need to wash these bikes, because a lot of them are dirty. They've been sitting in the lady's garage or the seller's garage, so I just need water and soap. I mean, everyone has that. And then number 5 is I need to be able to take a picture, because it's so important to sell. If you notice in my pictures, all the pictures look beautiful. So I buy from sellers that don't know how to package their bikes. They don't know how to take a picture of it. They don't know how to write a good description of it. They don't understand taking great picture is going to help them sell the bike. So I buy from sellers that don't have the ability to package their goods and bring it to the market, and I buy it from them at a deep discount, and I package it beautifully, put a bow on top, and I sell it at a discount and make massive profits. Okay, so I'm gonna need like a phone or a camera, and I need to take pictures, and then I need to be able to write a complying story about the bike. Okay, like it's a gorgeous hybrid bike, that does this, and the exact ads that I have that I've used, that I've tried it so many times and I found the best one, or in my course. So you can just get it and just copy and paste it depending on what brand of the bike it is, because I've created a manual in my course, I've created video trainings in my course, I've created the offer letters. You just copy and paste it and give it to the seller. So it's a complete business in a box that you can download right from my website, guys. Okay, and that's all the tools you're going to need, okay, to do this deal. Now, let me let you know, I don't do fix and flippers on bikes. I don't buy ugly bikes. I don't buy bikes that need work. I don't do that. I buy pretty bikes and I quickly sell them, aka wholesaling them, okay? Because one of the other reasons that I forgot to mention, created the new Flip, okay, which is the name of the course. Why I created this is not only was it to provide for me and my family, my new family, but it was also for me to create a idea that allowed my students to make money fast, right, ASAP, so they can stack their chips, right, and for them to teach them about sales, about negotiation, about inspecting the property, and it's basically flipping bikes is the same exact thing as flipping houses. The same exact thing. The only difference is the property is different, but everything's the same. Okay, and so that's one of the other primary reasons why I created it, is because I was tired of my students going to all these expensive real estate seminars, paying thousands of dollars and not making it. And I realized that, flipping houses is a complex business. And if my students could do the new Flip, if they could flip bikes and have success with it, will be a stepping stone for them to go out there and make real estate work for them. Plus, they will have capital because they were flipping bikes to spend in marketing, put money down on repairs, or put money down on the deal. So anyways, guys, there's not many tools. Every one of you guys, I'm very confident, have all these tools right now. All right, how to start. Number one, you got to find the deal. Remember, we're looking for motivated sellers. So you're looking to buy the deal at a deep discount, and again, sell it at a discount. That's the way I do it, so I can move the deal as fast as possible. Number two, once I have the deal, I have to package it, which means that I have to do a quick wash, I have to take beautiful pictures of it, and I have to write a good sales ad for it. And again, I have all the stuff in my course, so you don't have to write it, you can just download it and copy and paste it. Number three, once you do that, then you're going to have to price it at a discount so it moves fast. At least that's what I do. And number three, you have to exit, which means meet up with the buyer and sell the property and get your cash. So again, just a simple 3-step process. Find a deal, package it and put the cherry on top, put the bowl on top, and then exit the deal. Okay. Now, if you're more serious and you want to fast track this process, if you don't want to make all the mistakes that I have done, then I highly recommend going to the new flip.mrnoflip.com and downloading my course called The New Flip, my book that tells you exactly how I do the deals. I've given you in there the manual that you need, my offer letters, my ads to sell bikes, and much more. And I also have training videos on what you need to look for, how to inspect the bike, and so on and so on and so on. I don't have time to get into it. This video's already gone kind of pretty long. Okay, so it's all in there, and you can get it right now at a special price. And if you have any other questions, leave a comment below. Much love to you, and remember, don't take no for an answer. You're amazing, you're powerful, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're courageous, and you're your dreams. Much love.